Hello everyone, I'm Henry and I'm gonna analyze this game that I played today against MadSeb77 with a rating of 972 and I am with a rating of 986. I don't know if this was the rating in the end of the game, I guess so. So let's see what the engine or David is saying. So my accuracy was 65.1, very low, and my opponent was 50.3 or 0.3. So 2 great moves 1, 6 best 4, 5 3 in excellent, 1 5 in good, book 4 3, in accuracy both players at 4. I had 2 mistakes, my opponent had 5. I have 3 misses and my opponent had a blunder. So the game rating was 800 for me, 300 for him. The accuracy on my opening was 99.4. I really don't get this, but anyway. And the middle game was 50. His accuracy was 91.3 and the middle game accuracy was 35. So let's start the review. I'm still using this engine, David or Stockfish, whatever you want to call it. And let's go. So I opened with d4. It's my most used first move. My opponent replied with d5, and then I played my second most played move, bishop f4. My opponent made almost a mirror of what I was doing. There is a word for this, but I forgot now. So I played knight f3. He replied with e6, and I replied with e3. So the game was very balanced here. Now he played what David think is a very strong play. Excellent, a6. And then I started to try to break his pawn chain. David is saying this move attacks your opponent. Pawn chain. Yes, I know, David. Thank you very much. c4. Very good. Best move. Nice. So he took and I took with my bishop. Okay. Okay, so he brings the knight out. I bring my knight out and he attacks my knight with the bishop. Here I was not very worried about this pin to the king, because even if he took, I had this pawn, so I was not worried. Anyway, I just castled because this was my plan, and he went on with his plan. So he took my knight and I took his bishop, and so we are equal on material. So now this is an inaccuracy according to David. There were worse moves, but also something much better. Okay, nice. So I guess he's referring to this green arrow here, the knight developing a piece. So, well, when I played A, that for David is an inaccuracy. So I could have played the queen to b3, okay, to connect with the bishop. Anyway, for me this was not such a great move. I thought about it, but with knight a5, he attacks my queen, he attacks my bishop. Whoops, my bishop. So I guess somebody was out of the board, even if there is a nice move here that we will see after. But when I played the a3, my intention was to prevent his queen to come to this square. I don't know if he would do this or not, but anyway, this square and this square are both covered, this one too. So this was a free square, and maybe he had ideas of coming with his queen to a3. So I played a3, and then, well, what I was expecting happened, and I didn't want to trade bishop for his knight First of all, because my bishop is hanging. So there is this move, okay, queen check, and he can play the pawn and lose the knight, or he can just play the knight back to where it was. So I didn't saw a lot of sense making this move. Anyway, I brought my bishop back. David says is an inaccuracy. You overlooked an opportunity to defend the bishop that was under attack. Well, I could defend it, but I would lose it too. So that was my thought process. Thank you, David, but on this one I don't think you were right. I already checked that line here with some moves, and as you can see, well, it's before this one. I'm sorry, let me go back. So here, right? Yes. Okay, so we played, and before show moves. So I was going there, he was forking me, then we would exchange, and I guess that in the end I would win a pawn. Okay, and that was nice. I would destroy his queen side, but I didn't saw big advantages in doing this. It was not part of my plans. Let's continue. Where were we? Okay, so I came with my bishop back. Again, I lost. That's why I think the inaccuracy in the middle game was big, because he insists that I have to play the queen to a4. Okay, so I bring my knight back. I don't know exactly what I was thinking, but I think I wanted to go again with the bishop somewhere. Well, I don't remember, so let's move. Ah, yes, and I wanted to protect that e4. Okay, yes, that was our, since he brought the knight, I saw that weakness, so I went to protect, and when he got, okay, let's exchange knights. And now I attack his bishop. Okay, there is still this move, queen a4. So, but I had other plans. So David, I'm sorry. And now he takes his bishop back, and I start to attack his bishop. This move was not such a big fan after 3 or 4 moves. This rook to e1. But then in the long run, I think it was a very good move, a prophylactic move or something like that. Maybe not a prophylactic move, but a hidden move that in the future we will see why I did this, even though for the first 3 or 4 moves it was not so good, but then in the end it became. So he castles, and I start to attack his. Okay, so here again is the move of the queen. So David is fixed on this move, and he will not let it go. So anyway, I'm going after his bishop. So all the moves here. When I brought this bishop back, let me just go back to e3. That's when I thought, oh, maybe I should have left the rook there, and now I was going with this pawn and trying to trap his bishop, but well. So he goes back with his knight. I continue my plan to get to his bishop, but well, there is always a problem. I'm a beginner player, so as soon as I play this pawn is not defended. So my opponent was very quick to see my mistake, and it took advantage, and that's great for him. So I learned another thing here. This one is important. Anyway, I attacked this bishop. I want this bishop out of the board. So he ran. I went back. He came back. I went back. And here I was thinking, well, if we go on a draw, maybe I'll lose because I had more rating than him, I think. So he went. So I went, and he gave up. Okay, so he went exactly to where I wanted him to go in the beginning, before I lose the pawn here on e4, because I didn't saw and made a mistake. So I bring this bishop down, because I'm with ideas of, if I go up with f5, this pawn on e6 is protecting the queen, so if he takes, then my rook will go and take his queen. So this was something that I had in the back of my mind. So he attacked my bishop, and here I think it was my critical move. I thought for a while, and I thought, okay, if I go f5 and he takes my bishop, I'll take his bishop, and then if he takes this, my bishop is hanging because this rook can come down, okay? But I was seeing all of this and I was thinking, okay, I'm fine, I will be okay. And so I went for it. He took my bishop, I took his bishop, okay? Say, oh well, David is saying it's the only move and you found it. Well, to take the bishop, right? So this was my plan since the beginning, and here is where I think he lost the game. Okay, so he made this move and he allowed my beautiful pawn on g6, like a g6, sorry. And then that's when I started, okay, now I'm gonna take that pawn back, because this was in my idea since the beginning. Since this exchange came, I analyzed that in the end I could take that pawn, so that's what happened, okay? And now my opponent just plays knight in a desperation move, because as soon as my queen comes to the h-file, I will have a checkmate here on h7. And so my opponent, I played that, great, that's good, and he resigned because there was no way to stop this checkmate. So I hope you enjoyed and you learned something like I did through this game. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.